Have you ever seen a cat forget how to sleep? If you think it's impossible, prepare to be amazed. Cats, those effortlessly elegant creatures that seem to glide through life with an air of dignified grace, can sometimes be as awkward as the rest of us, especially when it comes to the complex task of slumber. Now, you might be asking yourself, how can something as natural as sleep be a challenge for these nimble felines? Well, picture this. A cat perched on the edge of a sofa, eyes slowly closing, head nodding in and out of slumber. Suddenly, its balance gives out and it tumbles off the edge, waking up in midair with a look of utter surprise. That, my friends, is a cat forgetting how to sleep. Or imagine another scene. A cat happily snoozing, tail neatly curled around its body. Suddenly, the tail twitches, startling the cat awake. In a moment of confusion, the cat pounces on its own tail, as if it were an unsuspecting prey. A classic case of a cat being its own alarm clock. It's not just about the physical blunders, though. Sometimes the mystery of feline slumber goes deeper. Cats are known to dream, much like us humans. But what happens when a cat gets so involved in its dream that it starts to chase an imaginary mouse, all while still asleep? You guessed it. A hilarious wake-up call that leaves the cat wondering what just happened. And while these moments might seem funny to us, they are a part of what makes cats so endearing. Their unexpected clumsiness, their amusing sleep habits, and their bewildered reactions all serve to remind us that cats, despite their regal demeanor, can be delightfully silly creatures. Isn't it hilarious how these graceful creatures can sometimes be so clumsy? Now let's dive into some more specific examples. Ready for a good laugh? Here are some of the funniest moments of cats forgetting how to sleep. Welcome to the wonderful world of feline sleep fails. This is where our furry friends attempt to master the art of slumber, only to end up providing us with some of the best comedic moments. You see, cats are expert sleepers, at least they're supposed to be. They sleep for an average of 15 hours a day, but as it turns out, even the best sleepers have their off days. Let's start with those kitties who seem to have a bit of a balancing problem. There's nothing quite like the sight of a cat teetering on the edge of a bed, sofa, or even a bookshelf, fast asleep. One moment they're in dreamland, the next they're on the floor, looking around in confusion. It's a classic cat sleep fail that never fails to amuse. Then we have the masters of bizarre sleeping positions. Cats, unlike us, don't seem to need the comfort of a soft bed or a cozy blanket. They'll happily sleep in a shoebox, on top of a radiator, or even in the bathroom sink. And the positions they choose, curled into a ball, twisted into a pretzel, or stretched out like a furry flying squirrel, it's a wonder they wake up without a crick in their neck. But perhaps the funniest of all are those cats who get startled awake. We've all seen it. A cat, deep in sleep, suddenly jumps up, as if they've had the fright of their lives. Maybe they were dreaming of a giant mouse, or perhaps their own tail gave them a scare. Either way, it's a hilarious sight that proves cats can be just as silly in their sleep as they are when they're awake. Let's not forget the snorers among our feline friends. Yes, cats do snore, and when they do, it's usually loud enough to wake the dead. Picture this: a cat, curled up in a ball, purring away in its sleep. Suddenly, the purring turns into a snore that could rival a freight train. The cat wakes up, looks around in surprise, and then goes right back to sleep, oblivious to the fact that it just woke itself up. And lastly, we have the dream chasers. Cats who twitch, wiggle, and even run in their sleep, as if they're chasing a dream mouse or bird. It's a comical sight, especially when they wake up, looking slightly embarrassed, as if they're wondering who saw them. Did you manage to keep a straight face? Let's revisit some of the most hilarious moments. So there you have it, a compilation of feline sleep fails that are sure to brighten your day. Cats might be experts at sleeping, but when they forget how to do it, they provide us with some of the best and funniest moments. Stay tuned for more hilarious cat antics. What happens when a cat's dream of chasing mice becomes a little too realistic? You get the funniest wake-up call ever. Ah, the joys of owning a cat. They're adorable, independent, and sometimes they're hilariously clueless about the simple task of sleeping. And when they mess up, boy, do we get a front row seat to some of the most amusing wake-up calls. Picture this: a cat, deep in slumber, dreaming about a daring mouse chase. The chase is on, the adrenaline is pumping, and just when the cat is about to pounce, bam! It jumps off the bed, and the dream ends with a rude awakening. A funny sight, isn't it? But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Let's talk about the snorers. Yes, cats snore, and some of them do it so loudly they jolt themselves awake. Imagine being awoken by the sound of your own snoring. Now that's an alarm clock no one can ignore. Then there are the cats who wake up terrified of their own tails. Yes, you heard it right. They open their eyes, see their tail flicking, and jump sky high in surprise. It's like they completely forget they have a tail when they're asleep. I mean, who needs a horror movie when you've got a cat waking up to its own tail? And let's not forget the cats who wake up mid-fall. They're peacefully sleeping on the edge of a table or a shelf, and then gravity takes over. The look of surprise on their faces as they wake up in mid-air is priceless. And then there's the classic wake-up call. The cat who realizes it's breakfast time and decides to wake you up by pouncing on your chest. Nothing says rise and shine like a set of tiny claws digging into your skin. It's hard to pick a favorite, isn't it? Let's wrap things up by appreciating the charm of these quirky sleeping habits. Just when you thought cats couldn't get any cuter, they surprise you with their quirky sleeping habits. Whether it's falling off the bed mid-dream, twitching as if chasing invisible prey, or waking themselves up with their own snoring, cats' sleeping habits are a constant source of entertainment. These adorable creatures, known for their grace and agility, often seem to forget the simplest task: how to sleep comfortably. It's these moments that make them even more lovable, adding another layer to their already intriguing personalities. Remember the cat we saw earlier who was so deep in dreamland that it didn't realize it was about to roll right off the bed? Or the one that tried to catch a dream mouse, twitching and jerking in its sleep? These are not just hilarious wake-up calls. They are glimpses into the private lives of our feline companions, revealing a side of them that we rarely get to see. You see, cats have a unique relationship with sleep. On one hand, they are masters of the art of napping, capable of dozing off in the most unlikely places. On the other hand, their sleep is often filled with activity, from running, jumping, and hunting, all acted out while they are deep in their dreams. This duality is part of what makes cats so fascinating. It's not just the hilarity of these sleep fails that we love. It's the innocence they display in those moments, the complete abandonment of their usual poised demeanor. It's seeing them at their most vulnerable, yet also at their most amusing. And let's not forget the snoring. Yes, cats snore, and it's as endearing as it sounds. It's one of those quirks that remind us how much we adore these little creatures and how much joy they bring into our lives even when they're sound asleep. As you can see, there's never a dull moment when you live with a cat. They keep us entertained even in their sleep. Now it's your turn to share some laughs. What's the funniest thing your cat has done while trying to sleep? Maybe it's the time your feline friend chased a dream mouse and woke up with a start. Or perhaps it's the moment they snored so loudly they woke themselves up. We've all had those moments of hilarity, and we'd love to hear your stories. Remember, the comment section is not just for us, it's for everyone who loves cats and enjoys a good laugh. So, don't be shy. Share your funny cat wake-up stories, and let's keep the laughter going. We hope these amusing tales have brought a smile to your face. If you enjoyed this video and want more adorable cat content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for joining us in this hilarious exploration of feline sleep fails. Stay tuned for more cat-tastic content.